I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 224, Jeopardy! Released in 1998, this game was developed and published by GameTech. Ah yes, Jeopardy! The show I watch when I want to feel like an idiot. I watch and I only know like 5 of the questions the entire episode. I was never that good at general knowledge trivia. My brain's much more geared toward math or science. Especially those pop culture references. I'm so screwed on those topics. But yeah, if you don't know, Jeopardy is a quiz show that's been popular in the United States for decades, so it's no surprise they tried to capitalize on that with a video game. Now the question is, will I look like a moron in this video? I guess we'll find out. Let's get into it. When you boot the game up, you're greeted with the iconic intro we all know and love. Well, I assume it's changed over the years, but you get the idea. In the menus, if you try to navigate off screen, it plays the error noise. They didn't think to add a delay on doing it though. Sorry. I could choose the difficulty level of the questions. I decided to include all of them, so yeah, I bet this is going to get sketchy real quick. When we start the game, we actually get an FMV of Alex Trebek introducing us. Man, he was so awesome. A lot of people think that the N64 couldn't do FMV, but it sure could. It's just devs didn't want to use too much of their cartridge space to store the video files. The presentation here is actually decent. It does remind me of the show. I do wish Trebek read out the category names. Guess they didn't want to pay him to read too many lines. He doesn't read the answers either. Now, fractions is my kind of category. A month is this fraction of a year? That's so easy. The premise of Jeopardy is that you're given the answer and you have to respond in the form of a question. So you would respond, what is 1/12? The $400 question was absolutely impossible though. I thought this was the fractions category. You're roping this random history question in here? No fair. There's this annoying lockout timer you have to wait for before you're allowed to buzz in. I think this is to make sure all players have time to read the question, but like, come on. 10 seconds is way too long. Oh yeah, there are 2 other CPU opponents. South Park Chef's Love Shack wishes it could have this good of single-player content. Uh-oh, no more fractions questions. Let's try world capitals? Ooh, the capital of Thailand. How could I forget that one? In middle school, you used to prank people by asking them, hey, what's the capital of Thailand? They wouldn't know the answer and, well, you know, you'd punch them in the nuts. Man, teenagers kinda suck, don't they? Entering a question leaves something to be desired. It takes a while to type it all in, but they do give you a full minute to do so. The game gives you suggestions on what you're entering, kind of like primitive suggested text. Man, why is there a category for biblical people? I don't know who Moses' brother was. I hated going to church as a kid. His name in Hebrew means father of many nations. Well, I got brave and guessed here. Abraham's a popular Bible character, right? Maybe it's him. Wouldn't you know it? I lucked out. I like how the suggested text started out by saying Abba. Sometimes the suggested answers are jank. Shouldn't this be Chesapeake? But it's making me put Chesapeake Bay. This is later on Thabeast speaking. I looked into it and apparently it's Narragansett. Oops. After not knowing what the heck the Virgin Mary's cousin was named, we headed into the second round. I was in the lead with $1,100, then the 2 CPU opponents had $500 and $600 respectively. The categories for round 2 were President and First Lady, nicknames, ancient times, music, starts and ends with N, and dolls. Oh god, I'm screwed on all of these. Okay, wait, maybe I've got this. Use this to sneeze but never blow your nose? Napkin. I've never heard somebody say that before, but it starts and ends with the letter N. I've heard noggin is slang for the head, but never is a measure for liquor. Is that like related to eggnog somehow? You mean to tell me Nickelodeon is a real thing? I thought it was just some weird word they made up for the TV station. This is the easiest music question? Who in the world knows this stuff? Where's the questions about like Van Halen or Jimi Hendrix or whatever? Also, if you see my chat posting answers on the side, don't worry. I wasn't looking at their answers. I made sure to win based on my own knowledge. Oh snap, the CPU opponent landed on the daily double. This lets them wager up to their current amount of cash. Can really change the tide of a game. And of course, they get the easiest question ever. Who doesn't know Harry Houdini? That's like the only magician anyone knows. Aw, heck yeah. I know this one. I fed so much cabbage to Maria in Harvest Moon 64. How could I not know about Cabbage Patch Kids? These ancient times questions may as well be in a different language, cause I don't know a single thing about Oaxaca or Monte Alban. Alright, end of the game. Final Jeopardy. I'm barely ahead of John by 350 bucks. The category is state capitol buildings, something I definitely don't know. Ah, screw it. I'm going all in, baby. Separating the city's capital from Iolani Palace? What on earth is that? Oh, God, I've got to guess. Tallahassee? Honolulu? Man, I'm not from Hawaii. No way I would know that. No fair. Well, I guess we got to try again. There's a category on Nebraska? What else is there to know about it other than corn and that there's a Cinnabon in Omaha? I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. I'd say the graphics are quite poor. They just took these cutouts of photos of random people and used them as the contestants. Normally, we're like, oh, the 3D models here aged horribly, but, like, I think this looks even worse. I do appreciate the included FMVs, even though they're rough in quality. For the audio, it's got all the sounds from the show, and they even have the Final Jeopardy song playing when you're entering that question's answer. I do appreciate Trebek having some sass in some of the FMVs if you miss. He was so good at this.
Sorry, wrong. Anyone else?
Oh, it showed him telling you that you're wrong. I was not doing so hot going into round 2 of this second attempt. Look, I was trying my best, alright? Okay, this is a good sign that I'm getting repeat questions already. We had this one before. Well, I mean, it's a good sign for me winning. Bad for the game having a long shelf life. Oh hey, look, I changed it to where it shows the correct answer if no one gets it. Now we know the bay Roger Williams named. What's sad is this entire category was a repeat, but I still missed 2 of them because I'd already forgotten. Man, sometimes the CPU is so funny. The Roaring Twenties ended abruptly when this came crashing down in 1929. The White House? John is out here losing his mind. Jeez, writers. By far my worst category. Well, maybe artists would be even worse, but yeah. Literally no idea who wrote Dracula. I really do not like reading. I mean, Konami made Castlevania. That's pretty close, right? No, I missed out on buzzing in on the West Virginia history question. We had to take West Virginia history class in 4th and 8th grade growing up. I'm ashamed of myself. Huh? This is the hardest question in the health and medicine category? Maybe back then oncology wasn't as well known of a term? Seems like that's not an obscure knowledge check at all. I had to completely guess on the Final Jeopardy question. To my surprise, the answer actually was Maryland. I needed them both to miss it though because I was in last. Unfortunately, Jen got it correct. Hey, at least I got 2nd place though. That's progress. Okay, attempt 3. You know it's a bad sign when you start typing your answer and it doesn't list it as a suggestion. I don't know German. How was I supposed to know that? I thought this was an English game. Thank God there's a science category this time. Planck's constant is legendary. It's how you determine the resolution and frame rate of real life. Finally! My 5 years of Spanish class in school are paying off. I barely know how to speak anything, but I definitely remember pescado means fish. Oh my god, and Portuguese is similar enough to Spanish that I can recognize this word is probably supposed to be yellow, or amarillo en español. We're doing it. I don't know what the heck Esperanto is, but this is close enough to lunes en español to probably be Monday. Man, my Spanish teachers would be so proud of me for winning at a 1998 trivia video game. Looking back, I have no idea why I thought this one was horseshoes. I should know what a pommel horse is, and rings? Please point to the rings you see in horseshoes past me. Someone gaining unauthorized access to computer files? Oh, it's like when you get up to grab a snack and someone posts on your Facebook that you've been hacked. Got it. I have triple the score of 2nd place going into round 2. There is no way I lose this time. Pulitzer commentators is the first category? Okay, never mind. It's so over. Every single one of these categories was a disaster. 19th century literature? Really? I got confident here because I lived in Australia for a while. To be fair, isn't Queensland also named after a queen? I was sweeping the on the road category until a yield sign is this shape. You non-Americans, you don't know any of these. Unless you do. Maybe you do. People know more about the world than I do.
Sorry, wrong.
What?
Anyone else?
Huh? Come on!
Make a selection.
What kind of trash? Come on, man! I'm getting cheated here! No, dude! With that mishap and John getting super risky on this daily double, I was in serious trouble. John was nearly double my score now. I have to get the final Jeopardy right at this point. Okay, this is a super easy one. It's the inauguration. We just need John to screw up, and he nailed it. Man, I really haven't won in this yet. To rub salt in the wound, the game just crashed after this loss. I mean, it's not like there's save data to lose, but still. John thinks he's so smart, giving the middle name. Oh my god, look at Fancy Pants over here. I'm starting to hate this guy. Okay, the White House burned down way back in the day, and they had to rebuild it, right? I know that. What? Why isn't it the White House? The answer is the Capitol? Really? Man, even with the autocomplete stuff, this game scams you. Wait, a 10-year-old should be eating 2,400 calories per day? There's no way. That is way too much. Little Debbie had a hand in that question, I guess. We all went into Final Jeopardy very close to each other, but it turns out I don't know anything about what Benjamin Franklin wrote about. Lost number 4. Oh my god. We had a great time playing this one live together, so if you want to watch the full VODs of it, they're on my VOD channel, Thabeast Plays, which is linked in the description of every single one of these videos. No, mustard gas does not go on a hot dog. Please don't do that. We're on the 5th attempt now. Okay, there is actually no way I lose this one, right? I am dominating. By that, I mean there were 2 repeat categories and I remembered all the answers. Jen had other plans though. How come they never miss the dang daily double? Now I'm not even in the lead anymore. And of course, I get scammed again on an $800 question. To be fair, I kinda blew it here because the question says what are rather than what is an. I'm not double second place going into Final Jeopardy. And it's an artistic quotes category. Oh no. I bet 0 because I was not confident whatsoever. So I just guessed Michelangelo. Luck was on our side though, and Jen missed too. Apparently I spelled Michelangelo wrong anyway, and the game thought I wanted Michael Collins, whoever the heck that is. But yeah, I won! Woo! I'm the greatest. Nothing really special happens if you win. It's the same FMV as if you lose. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating Jeopardy. I mean, you don't really beat this game, but winning a match with all questions included is about as far as you can go, I guess. I mean, this was a fun time, but only because I was doing it live with my stream. If I was just sitting by myself playing, this would have not been very interesting. I suppose back in the day it could have felt cool if you wanted to be on the show, but nowadays it feels bland. It's not a very technical marvel of an N64 game, that's for sure. Although it does have full motion video, so that's noteworthy at least. It started repeating questions on my 2nd attempt, so the pool of them must not be that large. It does a good job recreating the show for the time period, but well, yeah. Probably not a game you want to try playing unless you think you'd enjoy seeing the CPU respond with something funny. Plus, the wait time before you're allowed to buzz in gets quite annoying. I gave Jeopardy a 2 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 3.5 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. Let's do another one of these community maps. We'll do the Dark Festive Crank. Oh my god. Alright. Everybody's here, like 64 Ozumo, and Biofreaks, and Mia Ham Soccer. But only one can be the winner. Let's see what it is. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, they're off down the Plinko machine. Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling, the first one out. Madden, Gex as well. Gex is the first one down through this very colorful track. Nintama Rantaro 64 Game Gallery coming through. Bomberman as well. Chameleon Twist 2, I see. Chokukan Knight Pro Yakyu King falling off the cliff. And there's a Wheel of Fortune in the lead. The next Gex game, NASCAR 2000. I don't know what's going on in this track. This is crazy. We got Gex coming through. And something's happening. It's lagging a bit. The game cannot handle all this madness. Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2 coming into the funnel here. And we'll see who comes out. It's Namco Museum 64. And we're nearing the end, folks. Namco Museum 64 is in the lead. And that's it. Namco Museum 64. We got a bunch of old arcade games. Mortal Kombat bringing up the rear. Namco Museum 64. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.